summer of 8th grade going into high school, my sister and my cousins invited me to a tennis camp, and that's where it all began. Man, I didn't know a single thing about tennis, never played tennis, never watched tennis. The only thing I knew is that my sister played it and she would bring a racket home, and that's all. I go to this camp, and it turns out I was pretty good at it. It was not as hard as it really is. Swings were a little bit more natural to me. The movement and the setups and motions of tennis came a little bit more natural. So Coach started investing a little bit more time with me as I was a potential freshman coming into his program. And from there on, the grind starts. But then sophomore year came in and I'm on the varsity team with all the upperclassmen, and all my peers are kind of looking at me like, this guy's a cool guy. Like he's pretty good. And that makes you feel good. You know, the coach that I had, he was a guy that gave it 110%. We had practice Monday through Saturday from 8 in the morning to noon, and then from 3 to 6, 2-a-days. I mean, and we would practice just as much as the football players, and we were out there, I mean, going hard. I go up the ranks and I become number 1, number 2 player in the team. And this is my junior, senior year. It's double, same thing, 1 and 2 players. So now we start looking at some colleges, and I actually make some visits. And I'm very hopeful that I can take it to the next level. But because of my academics, I can't get in. So my tennis career collegiately stops right there. And I enrolled in our local college university, which is a great university. And from that moment, I began to coach. It was a couple years in Texas as a coach at our local club, and one of my great friends calls me and he says, hey man, I see you're still playing a lot and very involved in the game. I have an opening for an assistant coach. Would you like to come and join the team as our assistant coach? I put in for the position, I get the position. My wife now, she was my fiance at the moment. She finishes school in Texas, so we're apart for 1 year. Then she comes and joins me over here. And I mean, coaching at its finest. We start working really, really hard. We're zoned in, focused in. That becomes a priority. We end up winning. We win a championship, we win a conference championship, we make it to nationals, ranked within the top 10 in the nation. And the only loss that we had in the season, we get them in the second round. We had to buy the first round, we get them in the second round, and they beat us again. The only loss we had all season. So we have this magical season. And out of that, I get awarded a National Assistant Coach of the Year, a Regional Assistant Coach of the Year, and then a National Assistant Coach of the Year. And I mean, what an honor to be named that. You know, you start dreaming about next season, but the realities of collegiate sports is that next season is never promised. So due to budget issues, budget cuts, I'm not invited to come back next year. And then I get a call back a couple years later with the offer to become the head tennis coach, and I take it. This was a very important time in my life because sometimes your efforts don't really show positive results. You could be working harder than anybody. You could be no strategy, no psychology, no sport team dynamics. You can have everything that, and no more than maybe some other coaches in the field that are showing great success, and you're not succeeding. And how do you deal with that, you know? What keeps you motivated? What keeps you going? So that was a moment in my life where I had to really come to terms with myself and what am I here for really? Am I here to win, or am I here to make a difference in people that I get the opportunity to do life with through tennis? And that became my focus, and that became my energy. And something crazy happened. I get a call for an opportunity of the real dream job. I get a call to be an assistant coach at a Division I school. I left something good, something promising, something that I've been working on building. And I go for that position to be an assistant tennis coach at UT Martin for the women's program, Division I. I mean, we're playing the best of the best, recruiting the best of the best, a winning culture. Like, I mean, it can't get any better. Well, how did I get so fortunate for this position? So I take it, and budget cuts again. After just 1 year, there's a budget cut, and I'm the cut. So when you leave something that was so good, that you're building for something that you've always felt like, I just need an opportunity, and you get it, and now you don't have it, it's taken away. There's nothing that you've done wrong. Nothing. It's just the way it plays out. That's athletics. You know, that's a part of life, and it was my turn. And how do you bounce back from that? How do you bounce back from, you live a life of honoring God, you live a life of honoring your family, and this is not the time, you know? So no, that gets taken away. So you have identity issues now. You're starting to figure out, well, what am I here for then? What am I here for? You know, I believe that we have to have a good balance. I've seen many fellow coaches put everything, all of their energy into their craft. You know, I remember getting so focused in growing myself as a coach that my wife was not my priority. Now we have 2 children, 1 in the way, and that was not what I was thinking about. I was actually giving them my leftovers. I was giving my team, my colleagues, my directors, athletic directors, my very best, and then I'll come home and I'll be drained and giving them my leftovers. That's when I felt the Lord speaking to me and telling me, they deserve your best. I've blessed you with a wife. I've blessed you with children. You know, my hope for coaches today is that we kind of see things through a different lens. Honoring and bringing glory to God can be easy on the highs, can be easy when you have that team that's coming up that you know, like, yeah, everything is aligning. It can be easy when you're having winning seasons. It can be easy when there's no tension at home. Yeah, anyone can honor God during those moments. But honoring God and bringing glory to Him, also when you're going through the difficult moments, when you're having tension within your team, are you still going to honor Him in the way you walk? Honoring God with or without the wins, with or without the championships, with or without that player you worked so hard to recruit, with or without the perfect staff. I believe that that's where the growth happens. Enjoy what we do, enjoy that we get to coach, enjoy that we get to do life with others, and not get too focused on the end result. but more in the process of really growing and loving our players, while we also love and honor and even grow closer than anyone to the people that God has blessed us with at home. My name is Ernesto. I'm a former Division I collegiate tennis coach, and tennis was a god.